Hey guys, welcome back to Banter Bets and BPL, episode 2. Going to do a little review of the Champions League final, talk about our bets, maybe even talk a little bit about the game. We'll focus mostly on the betting because that's the fun stuff. We do have a new guest here. We got the coach's corner with Bart Simpson in the bottom bunk there, back with Keegan. Just kidding. It's Coach Cam, of course. We have Keegan, brother Keegan, back in Ontario. Me, Liam, the host. I think we've even got Big Dad Bill in the background there. Is he there? Bill makes a pod debut, a little cameo, 90th minute sub. All right, so why don't we get to it? Champions League final. We said it was going to be cagey. We said it was going to be low scoring. The bookies are fools. We're way smarter than the bookies. We hammered the under. I guess this is what this podcast is all about. Just wins. Keegan, let's talk about your bets and what you got right and what maybe we didn't get right. Why don't you start?
Going in, I had those 4 bets. Obviously, the penalties didn't come off. It was a bit of a fun one anyway. The one I missed, though, was the Bayern. My lock was Bayern halftime, full time. And you know what happened? A stone-cold penalty in the 45th minute goes uncalled. And that's what cost us at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, stone-cold penalty. I don't know if that might have been a bit more of a stone-cold dive. I honestly didn't get too good of a look at it because I was a little bit I was caught up with you bombarding me with messages about the stone-cold penalty. I missed the replay, but
I'll be honest, it was one of those. I'm kind of like 50-50 seeing him be called. He was kind of like leaning all over him. And then he just went down. And it was that simple. I've seen him be called. I'm sure if they called it, VAR wouldn't have overturned it to call it not a penalty. So it was one of those.
One of those that gets called anywhere else on the pitch outside the box, but not in the box.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, 2 minutes before that, I think it was Muller pressing, and then it was just the weakest touch on one of the center backs right before Lewandowski won the ball, and they called it a foul, and it was an absolute joke. And then something like that happens in the box, and the ref swallows the whistle.
Yeah, I didn't mind that shot at 3.1. Bayern could have scored. I mean, PSG probably had a couple better chances in the first half, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so yeah, lost that one. Unlucky. What else did you have? You had the penalties. The penalties was a fun one. It even went up a little bit. I think the game to go to penalties before kickoff, I saw it was up to 10, and I think it was 9 and when we were talking about it. But yeah, I was on those ones as well. Not the Bayern halftime full time, but I was on the penalties one. What else did you have? Anything else?
I had Bayern win and keep a clean sheet. I was a little scared for that one as well. With Choupo-Moting misses the 95th minute chance, which brings me back to the last pod where I gave a shout out to Choupo-Moting to score the last goal, and he goes for a flailing back heel from 3 yards out. And
and I was just ripping on him. He'll never score a Champions League goal again, I think I said, and I was almost had to swallow my words when he, thank God he's a donkey, and tried to donkey kick it into the net from 3 yards out.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Why don't we bring in Coach? Oh, go ahead, Keegan.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna bring up my last bet. Well, my last bet was the under with everyone that we hammered and got. Yeah. But I got to early in the game, I was a little scared because PSG were creating some chances and it was going a little bit. I was a little. Yeah.
The game was open. Like 20 minutes in, I was like, oh, well, we're going to have to pray for this under because it was Neymar at one end, Lewandowski hitting the post at the other end. Yeah, it wasn't looking great. Coach Cam?
No result, all that matters. Both my bets were plus money, so we're coming off looking good from the game.
Yeah. My biggest bet by far was the under, so that was good. It made it kind of free hits to go for the first goal scorer bets. We'll go to Coach Cam. What do you have to say about the game? And then we'll talk about some of the first goal scorer bets and close calls and stuff.
Well, for the game, I thought that it was won and lost with the wing playing the fullbacks. Particularly, you see Di Maria, Mbappe, Neymar kind of subbing out with Mbappe switching here. Just awful. The wing play was just awful for PSG. And on the contrary, you look at Coman, you look at Serge Gnabry on the wing, even their fullbacks, Kimmich, Davies. I had no idea who the heck Kayer is playing right back or if he's ever played right back ever, but Coleman was taking him for lunch every time he got the ball. And that's, I think, was the huge difference maker between PSG and Bayern in that game. And it showed with Coleman's header back post. So, yeah, it was nice.
And
Nice to see that wing play.
there's your tactical breakdown from Coach Cam, assistant coach at Queen's University. Shout out to Cam. And yeah, he'll be a guest probably periodically this year on our BPL. We'll use some of that analysis to try and get a bit of a head start in our betting on the BPL. Cam?
Oh yeah.
All right, perfect.
Before you go, Cam, I have to say though, speaking of the wing play, I actually thought that our Canadian boy Alphonso Davies did not have a very good game. I think Bill got to him.
He didn't have a great game, Alphonso Davies, but who cares? Canadian won the Champions League before any other American, and he's 19 years old. So, and he had a great whole season anyway. So
yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about it.
And he survived it. He got somewhat of an early yellow card, managed to survive playing against some pretty good wingers.
Nutmegged by Di Maria.
Got nutmegged badly by Di Maria. He was swimming a bit on that one. But Cam's right. Coleman killed Carrere. Why don't we talk about Coleman? Yeah. I'm disappointed that we didn't.
That's a good segue.
Yeah, it's a good segue. I'm disappointed that we missed. Usually, I'm all over the playing against your former team narrative, and we had Coleman against your former team. It seems like stuff like that always happens in big games, and yeah, I guess they were talking all about it. Born in Paris prodigy, played for PSG, and he scored. And we didn't even think. I didn't think he was going to start. I don't think he started any of the knockout games, but.
Yeah.
Talking about first goal scorer, I had Boateng as my long shot for Bayern, got hurt like 10 minutes in, limped off.
And then Thiago Silva went down like 2 minutes later, and I'm like, oh my God, the 1-2.
Yeah, Thiago Silva went down, so that wasn't look good. He stayed in the game, and Neymar had the first big chance. He had a breakaway and left foot, and Neuer came out and made himself big. That would have been a fun one to win. In the end, it was Coleman. Not much you can do. Like I said, we hammered the under. We were playing with house money for those first goal scorer bets, so that was good. I don't know why I didn't bring this up on the pod, but I had the under, and I don't know why I didn't say it, because also at 3.0 it was if you won at least one team to keep a clean sheet, and so I ended up betting that as well. So I got a win on that one. Should have brought it up on the pod, but
great show. We were all around it on the pod, talking about each team. Pick what you like. Could have done that for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to read between the lines. Sometimes, guys, we're not going to
spoon feed all the bets.
Yeah,
exactly. What else do we got to talk about? Why don't we take what else? Are there anything else on the final? I thought one of my favorite part of the final was it was Neuer's third or fourth big save, and then he just stands up with the arms out like this, and I was like, oh, Manuel, haven't heard from you in a while, man. It's good to see that you're back being like he was the best in the world for like 5 years, and it seems, I don't know, maybe my head's been in the sand, but I hadn't really heard much from him, and mostly it had been, especially since his awful display at the 2018 World Cup, it was mostly he's passed it, but
and I'm actually really happy for him going back to the quarterfinal against Ter Stegen when they blew them out 8-2, and everyone, for the longest time, everyone's been calling to drop him from Germany because it's Ter Stegen from now on. So I'm pretty happy about that. That was good for him.
That was sick when he used the Superman.
And it was offside too. But did you see those aerial splits as he was diving out? Holy.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say part of Neuer being great was Mbappe completely bottling chances, and he bottled one in the first half that it was like the least convincing finish I've ever seen from a forward. When he had that, someone cut it back to him, and he just passed it to Neuer. That wasn't even a good save; it was a pass back. And then
Jesus would be ashamed of him.
Hey,
Dave Jesus would be ashamed of him.
Oh God.
Oh, Gabriel Jesus, yeah. We won't talk about him until we talk about our top goal scorer bets for the BPL next season. We'll leave him off this pod. Not one of Cam's favorites. Anyway, but I was going to say, and then he had that chance when it was called offside. That was like a free hit from 6 yards, and there was no way he was trying to score. There's no way he wasn't trying to score.
For sure.
And Neuer denied him even on an offside chance from 6 yards out. So Neuer was a wall, Berlin Wall. Mbappe bottled it. And this is my hot take on Mbappe. The France final, there was way less pressure on him. because he had the luxury of saying, all right, we're playing Croatia in the final. If I'm not the guy, we'll probably still win. This game, they were underdogs playing a better team. They needed him. They needed him to be the guy. They needed him to score. He had the chances to score, and he bottled it. And he wasn't the guy, and they didn't win. Now, I think he's an amazing player, obviously, but I think that, people say, well, he's proven it in the World Cup final. But I think that was way less pressure because his team was at such a big advantage. And now when they really needed him, he kind of let them down. Same with Neymar. He couldn't make a pass for the last 30 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree completely with you, Liam, especially since PSG has never won the Champions League. He comes in the final, Neymar's injured most of the season, and Bobby's their big player. I'd be sweating for sure if I was in his position. So I can only imagine that he's definitely feeling pressure. And like you said, he just wasn't having it, especially in and around the 18-yard box. Taking on players just wasn't. So, yeah.
You know what? As a coach, you must know that the mental side of the game is pretty important. And maybe young Killian could use maybe a Queen's psychology class or something to.
Yeah, he should come straight down to Kingston. I can probably teach him myself, coach him myself, and maybe see him next year, a couple of years, definitely in the Champions League final, scoring from 8 yards out. So
turn him into a polished product.
Yeah, maybe an intro to psych class wouldn't hurt him. All right. Any other anecdotes on the final before we kind of wrap it up? Maybe we'll have a little bit of a surprise for the listeners, the millions and millions around the world listening to end it off. Do we have any other anecdotes?
I'm good.
Well, we are planning on dropping some we're going to start moving into the Premier League season. That's what this podcast is going to be mostly about. We just wanted to get a nice head start with the big game being so late in the year and so close to the start of the Prem season. It's starting in 3 weeks, maybe? 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now, September 12th, I think. So we're going to have some fantasy podcasts. Keegan and I might even work on some fantasy rankings. You see a lot of fantasy pricing stuff out there, but I don't know, that's crap compared to fantasy draft. So we're going to be doing some draft rankings. If you really, really fancy yourself as a fantasy Premier League player, then stop doing the pay for players game with the prices and everyone's got the same team except for one defender. Try yourself out in a draft league like we've been doing the last couple of years. I think Keegs and I are going to have some fantasy rankings. I think maybe we'll do some go team by team, player you like on the team, do draft and don't draft for each team in the Prem. Maybe some sleepers. I know Keegan's got a couple deep sleepers.
You can always count on me for a promoted defender.
A promoted defender. He was all over Enda Stevens last year. So yeah, we're gonna have the next things we'll probably be doing is some fantasy rankings. We're definitely gonna have a big BPL season betting extravaganza where we go through the future markets. To sign off here, why don't we do a quick look? It's a pretty slim soccer schedule, but why don't we throw maybe one bet each that we like in the next 24 hours on the market here? I'm gonna share Bet365, and we got a couple games here, a couple huge games. We got Red Star in Champions League game. Besiktas, come to Besiktas. We even got Liverpool. Keegan, Cam, is there anything you guys like here? Anything you want to shout out for the degenerates out there? Okay, I'll go first. And this is one I'm going to give a shout out to our dirty boy Luka Glušević, who's a Red Star fan. He always said Red Star doesn't give a shit about winning on the road. They only care about winning at home. So Red Star on the road as favorites. I'm going to go KF Tirana or draw. And that's going to be my bet of the week, or bet of the next 24 hours. We're only looking 24 in advance, so I'm going to go with them. Anything else, you guys? Liverpool, PAOK. I don't know. We could talk about Champions League qualifying. Anything you guys like? Anything jump out at you here?
Take me to the Liverpool game and let's look at the markets there.
All right. Yeah, I don't mind that one either.
We can get the resident Liverpool expert Bill in here if he has any.
Yeah, we could. All right. Oh, another thing I was going to say is find an MLS game, find the biggest underdog you can find, and then just bet on that team to win because MLS teams are all even and anything can happen. So you could also do that. Top leagues, elite club friendlies. Salzburg, Liverpool. Is Bill close by?
I wouldn't touch any of those club friendlies because you just don't know who they're going to play.
Yeah,
You're going to play a bunch of young players. You're going to play. So, I mean, if you got Salzburg at 5, I think that's where I would probably put my money because you probably have Harvey Elliott, Williams, all these young guys that are going to be playing. And I mean, they'll beat Everton, but Salzburg is a lot better.
All right. We got some bets. Now we got some banter. The Liverpool fan taking a shot at Everton. Yeah, you're right. The Liverpool youngsters do give Everton a bit of a kicking every now and then.
You know what? I'm sure you could find a handicap or something that gives Salzburg +1 or something that'll still be above even money in there.
Handicap. Alternative goal line. No, that's not it. Handicap result. There you go. Salzburg +1. So even if they lose by 1, you're getting plus money. You taking that, Keegan?
Yeah, that's the one that I'm locking.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So there we go. Our 2 bets. I guess those are our 2 bankers. Not huge money, but if you're really hurting for some action, KF Tirana or draw, Salzburg +1. Liverpool's playing the kids probably. All right. So that's probably it for us. We'll have this up, and I don't know, maybe next week or so we'll start breaking down some fantasy BPL because it's getting close to the start of that fun time. And draft day, our draft is on, I think, the 6th. Draft day is the best day of the year. It's like Christmas morning. We'll have you guys all ready for that so that you don't go drafting, I don't know, Claudio Bravo in the 3rd round. Like
Olivier Giroud 2nd.
Shout out Dev Curry.
And if you're drafted before our draft, the one thing that I can tell you right now is do not trust the fantasy website's rankings.
Keegan's going to be...
It gives me a yearly kick to just look at them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say, don't trust our rankings because you're going to be throwing people off the scent. Yeah, do not just draft based on their rankings. Yeah, that's another thing we're going to do. We're going to laugh at all the bad rankings they have because, yeah,
for sure.
They're throwing out guys like, I remember last year, Lukaku was already training with Belgian teams and was pretty much on Inter Milan, and they had him ranked 9th. So, yeah, don't be trusting that. We'll have some draft tips for you guys. All right, that's probably good. We've talked long enough. Coach Cam, thanks for coming in. We'll use your insight.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
we'll use your insight later on. A little more, not much to bet on these days, but not the dog days of summer are almost over. We're going to move right on to the BPL season.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
Can't wait.
Stay safe out there and bet safely. See ya.